timeline to public because for whatever reason, it just shows to my friends. I don't know why it does that. But let's see. Goes to my friends. I don't know why it does that. But let's see. Okay, we are live. Goes to my friends. Let me do this. I'll put this on my main page. This one's supposed to be on my main page. Uh-oh. I gotta move something. No, that's not on my main page. Okay. Hold on. Hold on, gang. I'm sitting here talking to myself. All right.
All good, brother.
I cannot get to my own personal Facebook page. This is crazy.
I know. It's changing.
Yeah, there's so many different pages and
Yeah, what the heck? Hold on. Hey, everybody in Facebook land, give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull up my darn page on my phone. Okay, I have it. Bingo. Sheesh. All right, let me edit the privacy to public. Bingo. All right. So how you two doing today?
oh, fantastic.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, first of all, I am excited to be spending some time with the two of you. First of all, I have to say congratulations on becoming the newest UIGI Millionaire Circle Ring Earners. It's a big deal. I'm very, very happy for the both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for creating this platform, and thank
Giving
you
us the
for
opportunity.
just creating opportunity with so much economic and world uncertainty for so many people. This is like a light on a hill for people watching this video right now. So thank you, Rabu.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Well, for those who are watching, we're going to jump right into it. I'm really, really excited. I had a chance to meet Jacob and Megan in Bahamas at the where were we staying at the Rosewood, right?
Rosewood,
Oh
Bahamar.
my God, an incredible location. I've been to the Atlantis before, but the Rosewood's better,
Yeah.
And I went there a couple of times, and this time we were there for Trade Warriors. But before I start the interview, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna jump in and first of all, before we talk about how we met, your names, your backgrounds, where you're from, kids, married, all that good stuff.
So you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I can go first. So my name is Megan Rakowski. This is my husband. And we are married for
3.5 years.
3.5 years,
Yeah.
and we have 2 babies. One is going to turn 3 next month.
Yeah.
And one just turned 1.
Yeah. And I'm Jacob from Houston, Texas. Background, I was a lifeguard, and then I went straight into network marketing. I've never had a job. I always wanted to work for myself after I saw how hard I was working as a lifeguard and how little I was getting paid. So I spent from age 18 to 26 actively, aggressively, day in and day out building network marketing, built a really, really solid residual income with that business, met the love of my life, decided to take some time off. And then after we got married, very shortly after, we found out we were going to be parents unexpectedly, but gratefully we had the resources in place from our previous businesses to be able to be full-time parents, stay at home with them. And, for the last 2-3 years, we've been professional manifestors, manifesting all types of streams of passive income. That's literally always on our radar, whatever we can find that's passive and gives us more time with our girls so we can be, at home with them, experiencing all of their milestones. That's been our life for the last 3 years.
That's a phenomenal life. I'll just tell you from experience, we have 2 girls as well. And we've been stay-at-home parents for a long time. And we've been able to do just that, make everything. And so I'm so happy for the both of you. That's real cool. That's real cool. And so you mentioned network marketing. I was a network marketer I started network marketing on July 26, 2001. And I gladly retired on May 28th, 2020. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I retired, never do network marketing again. because I just wanted passive, and I mean 100% passive without having to open my mouth type deal, and we found it. How's your network marketing journey?
It was amazing. You know, I know you and I were part of the same company for a while. I don't think we ever really connected, but we were part of the same leadership team. And I got started at 18 years old. I knew for a fact that I did not want to repeat what I saw everybody else around me repeating, which I grew up very blessed. My parents did very well. My dad is a doctor. My mom runs the entire business. They're a dynamic duo. And they were able to provide an amazing life for us. And at the same time, I saw the level of sacrifice that was put in order to create that life. You know, 40 hours a week was a light week. 50, 60, 70 hours a week was very normal. And I'm so grateful that I had the example in front of me of hard work, dedication, passion, persistence. But I knew for a fact that the reason I was going to build network marketing was for the reason of my future family. You know, 10 years down the line, when I found the love of my life and we decided to have a family, I wanted to not be gone 70 hours a week. I wanted to always create an income from home or from my phone and not, you know, missing some of their major milestones. And fortunately, I haven't missed any of them. I've been there every step of the way. I learned so much from our mentor, Mr. Holton Buggs, you know, from 18 years old. He noticed me and believed in me when I really didn't believe in myself, and coached and mentored me up to a multiple six-figure passive income by 21 years old. And, you know, I'm now 29. I just turned 29. And fortunately, we built that business 95% customer based in our network marketing business. So, I mean, it wasn't always that way, but now it's about 95% customer base, to where our income has been solid, passive, steady. I stepped out 3 years ago due to just some philosophical differences with, you know, what some of the decisions that the company was making, which still love them, still use the product, still super passionate about what they can do. But I felt pulled in a different direction. And fortunately, because of building it with heart and building it with customers, we have had a solid passive income from that business without touching it for the last 3 years.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I hear so much in your story, you know, that mirrors mine. I won't go into detail about mine, but it's always a joy and pleasure to hear about folks who got started in the industry, who parents did sacrifice, who did give them a good life, you know, but you decided to go another path because you want to see your future, you know, even stronger, even, you know, more, just stronger and have more freedom, you know, which is a big deal. You know, it's nothing like being stay-at-home parents and doing whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it. You know, it's even today, you know, getting on a line today, like, we're like, hey, what time will you do this? You know, not having an answer to, you know, no one but God and yourself. You know what I mean?
Amen.
It's pretty darn amazing. It's amazing. Wow. So this is good. This is good. And, you know, like yourself, when I decided to leave the network marketing industry, I had some philosophical differences, and mine was real simple. And, you know, our mentor and friend, you know, my good friend Holton Buggs, I was just with him in Houston about a week ago, and as a mentor as well. I said something to Holton. I said, look, man, I can't do this anymore, you know. And I had that heart to heart with him because I'd already started with UIGI, and I said to him, I said, I can't do another conference call, another national event, another weekly event, another in-home meeting. Nope, not doing it. I said, if it resembles work, I'm not touching it, you know. And I said, if it looked like work, smell like work, talk like work, it's not for me. And then, you know, we found UIGI and things just started to explode, man. And we've helped over 300,000 people, you know, around the world make some passive incomes, even though we've had some early failures, but now we're rocking and rolling on all cylinders. And so it's pretty damn cool. But you know what? I'm excited to let the folks hear, how did we meet? You know, and again, it was such a pleasure to meet both of you. And I'm excited to now, you know, have you guys extended friends and family. But if you could tell folks how we met, that'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely. So we were about a month ago now in the Bahamas at the Rosewood Baha Mar for a trading training. Our mentor is making can I say how much he's making a day trading?
Don't.
It's,
I want,
it,
look, they have to be at that event to find out. Put it like
they
that.
have to be at the event to find out. Well, let's just say what most people's decade is his day. That's the type of money he's making. And I've been friends with Mr. Bugs for almost 10 years now, and he invited myself, my wife, and my dad personally to that event. And we said we cannot, there's nothing we'd rather do than be there. We have to be there. So as we arrived, I'm looking around and I'm noticing the level of wealth in the room. I know that we're doing really well. My wife and I are doing really well. We've set ourselves up. But out of the 72 people that were invited to the event, I'm confident we were the least wealthy people in the room at that time. And now that's a great place to be, because if you're the smartest and wealthiest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. We were the exact opposite. Hungry, humble, open, ready to learn. I just started seeing all of these people that were obviously very wealthy. And I started to notice these rings that they had on their finger. And my wife and I were like, there's like 10 guys here with these rings. I wonder if they're in like some type of club. Wonder what this is. Fraternity maybe. So the very first night of the event, we're at this Rosewood garden with dancers, singers, private chefs, butlers, everything. And they're coming up to us and serving us. And we were one of the last ones there. So we got basically last choice of our table. And I was just like, we don't even know anybody at this table. Like, I might want to sit by somebody I know. I don't really know any of these people. So we start talking to everybody. And Megan actually struck up a conversation with Andre. We know nothing about Andre. We don't know who he is. We don't know anything about him. Andre is a legend in UIGI, but we literally had no idea who Andre was. And we noticed he had this ring. And my wife asked him, she said, hey, what are these rings? Like, why do y'all have these rings
I said,
on?
why do you have them and how do I get one?
How do I get one? And he said, I'm not really supposed to kind of promote anything here because we're here for the trading event. And my wife was like, no, like, what is it? Just tell me. And he goes, well, we have this passive income community. We have like 10 different streams of income, all doing around 10% a month or better. And I'm just like, like, pump the brakes, like, what? And he goes,
so casual, it's so regular,
just like everybody had that, like everyone has this. And we're just like, what? And I was like, we have been looking for this ever since the day our daughter was born. Because when you become a parent, if you're watching right now and you don't have kids yet, time and money become 10, if not 100 times more important when you have kids, because your time becomes much more limited if you want to be there for those things, and your resources are going to their expenses, their childcare, their development, their schooling, if you don't put them in public school, all of these things, and you want to give them the best. And we have spared no expense in making sure that we gave them the best opportunity possible to be the greatest version of themselves. And that provided a need for more passive income. So we look at him and we say, tell us everything about it. Who is this? Who are these people? And he starts pointing at different people at the party and saying, that guy's making this much, that guy's making this much, that guy's making this much. And I'm like, what? How? And they're like, they invested in the platform. They, started sharing it with people that they love. And now not only are they making a ton of money, but their friends and family are making a ton of money doing absolutely nothing but investing. And then the secondary, income can come in if you choose to share with other people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, we need to get set up with this right now. So
I was like, Andre, take my phone number.
Yeah, we need to get set up.
Let me put my phone number in there. I need you to send me some information.
We were very aggressive.
And I'll just because y'all almost got me in trouble, right? Because I reached out, I told Holton, I said, look, man, because we were honored to be there, and it was an amazing, amazing event. And just to add to what you're saying, in that room, I'm not going to, you guys make a very strong 6-figure income, but the average income in that room per household was like $2 or $3 million a year. You know,
We
easy.
figured that
And
out.
that's being generous, right?
Very, very.
You know, and what was interesting, I was like, look, I told the guys, I said, look, I know all y'all making money. You're making a whole bunch of it, you know, because that event costs a lot of money just to be there. That's number one. That event costs more than some people make a year just to be there.
Yeah.
And I said, look, we're not here to recruit folks. I said, that's not what we're doing. We're here to learn how to trade, you know, because what the interesting thing about UIGI, we never teach trading ever. Like, so we didn't even open up to our group at all because we didn't want people to be casualties of war, actually, you know, until we found something that really, really worked. Now, you know, come February, we'll open something up for everybody in February. But I said, look, guys, come learn, but we're not here to recruit anybody at all. Okay. And so we had to make that clear, but
It's our fault. We are, Rabu, we are professional manifestors. If there's a passive income stream available, we can smell it from a mile away and we will find it, because what your mind focus on is so powerful. When we had kids, I said, never again am I going to work as hard as I used to work, you know, work and travel and doing everything under the sun in order to build my business. I said, during that time, for that period of 7 to 8 years, when I sacrificed everything, you know, I missed weddings, I missed funerals, I missed birthdays, I missed holidays, I mean, every event you can think of, because I said, I know for a fact, I am going to be so thankful when my children are born and I can be there with them every step of the way. And my wife and I can do whatever we want, whenever we want, wherever we want, wherever we want, with whoever we want. That is the price I'm paying. And once I reach that stage, I'm out of this busting it, grinding stage. I'm going to find passive income streams and hopefully help as many people as possible with them. So if you got in trouble, pass me the bill. That's 100% on us. We cornered Andre. We almost, you know,
saying no to me, and I was like,
yeah,
no,
we cornered
you can't
Andre.
say no.
We kept following up and we were like, you got to tell us about this, man. We need these income streams. Let's go. So last day of the conference, we sat down with him. He explained all the income streams. And the last night of the conference, we got an opportunity to sit down with you and some of the other top UIGI earners at the table and just hear your heart and hear your vision and hear your story and feel your energy of a person with extremely high integrity, love for people, totally unselfish, totally here to provide opportunity for people that would not have it any other way. You know, for me, more than the profit I can make is the heart and the energy and the value alignment of who I'm working with. And once I feel that component of it, I am diehard, I'm all in. And literally since that day, I have been having 1 to 3 UIGI meetings per day, every single day. Anybody with a pulse, I tell about UIGI, because I mean, I can't even imagine with all of the economic, you know, things going on right now. Gas is triple what it was 2 years ago. You know, prices are way up. And, you know, just even seeing how it's affected us with, you know, more than enough income, still seeing the effect that it's had on our lifestyle. I can only imagine what type of struggles, you know, the common person is going through that doesn't have any streams of passive income. And I literally picture the person that shows up in a person's life and shows them UIGI like an angel descending from a cloud with a abundance box in their hand and is just saying, I have the opportunity of a lifetime for you. And I'm literally doing you the most massive disservice by not telling you about it. If you don't like somebody and you don't want them to be successful, don't tell them about UIGI. If you have any inclination of care about a human being, even 1%, tell them about this, because everybody needs passive income. That's my belief. That's my passion. That's my conviction. And I just literally don't know why any human being on earth wouldn't be running and, running over fences, running through brick walls to get this set up for them and their family.
Wow. 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 You know, I love the passion that you have, that both of you have about this social club. You know what's cool, man? Like there's no entry here. No one has to pay to join. And we'll never, ever, 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 ever have a membership. Ever. No one has to show up. Literally, like even when you get your ring, well, I'm sorry, when you get the ring, you got to go on a trip. So we make sure, we're going on these big trips. We've had some amazing trips. So you got to show up to get the ring. But when you get there, you don't have to pay for any of the special things that we do. We've rented yachts, we've rented parties. We were in Dubai, where at the time during COVID, you couldn't go out to a nightclub. So we were in the Atlantis, we rented the biggest nightclub that they had. We did these things so we can enjoy ourselves. And I'm gonna tell you, Andre is a legend. He's a legend in network marketing. Okay. And his wife, Zena, she's incredible. Andre and Zena have done well for a long time. That's just like you guys do very well. You don't need this. And what's important is it's just going to enhance what you do. You can see it's going to give you more time freedom than you've ever did I believe anyone has ever had, because I'm watching it. And it's fun.
Yeah.
We keep it fun. The Facebook page is fun. The groups, you're in the Ring on the group now. You see some of the wacky stuff that's asked in that question. You'll see it'll be even more. But we just want it to be fun, man, because we want people to enjoy their lives and make a lot of money while doing it without working. No work. Make money, no work. And I love the fact, y'all are young. I'm a toasty 49 years old, so I got you about 20 years. But one thing that I started to do, I started to put my ears to the street and listen to the younger generation, period.
Yeah.
Because you guys are bigger networkers, you're smarter, because of years. I won't say it's wise yet, because wisdom comes with age, and intelligence, but you guys are smarter. You're better networkers than we've ever been. You know how to find ways to make money. And so you're already on the right path, period, to do it your way, not the traditional way. But now, with adding UIGI into your tool belt, you're going to help so many more people, make money and really, really have the time freedom, and not have to go through what we had to go through. And I love what you said. You did network marketing long enough, strong enough, and hard enough that you were able to walk away from it and still be financially good. Now you're about to be financially rich.
Super rich.
Wow. So here's a question. So I gotta ask some questions. Always in the Ring on the interviews. Well, you've answered a lot of those. Simple one. The 1/3 rule. Have you guys started to implement the 1/3 rule? Do you see value in it? Does it seem like something that could help you guys maintain what you're doing now and expand on it?
Most certainly. Do you want to go first?
I think the 1/3 rule is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Our goals right now for our platforms, we're aiming to have 100,000 in each stream, and then we'll start
pulling profits. Yeah.
We're gonna ride it out till it's a nice chunk, and then.
But the value of having a place to put your money, because most people are not taught financial literacy in school, and the 1/3 rule goes right in line with what Rich Dad Poor Dad teaches, which is, you have to ultimately pay yourself first, start eliminating debt. And then I love the part of the 1/3 rule that allows you to reward yourself. So we actually, because of a lack of financial literacy, which you are teaching, because of lack of financial literacy, we actually went through some pretty challenging times when our first daughter was born. So let me expand on why not only having passive income with UIGI is so important, but having the financial literacy that Rabu teaches and really making that a part of your life, why that is so important. So throughout my career in network marketing, we had received a lot of guidance on money, but I never actually had any investments that I knew of to put anything into. And I've been talking to a lot of, really successful friends recently about UIGI, and I've come to a very interesting conclusion is that the times in my life, and almost everybody can relate to this, where we've had the greatest financial challenges is because we were too heavily reliant on one particular stream of income. And what happened at the exact perfect storm moment when our daughter was born at the very end of 2019 was the entire world got turned upside down. And we started having cash flow problems because our income was affected through our main source of income. And we had a lot of increased expenses, and we didn't want to go put in the same level of work that we were putting in when we didn't have kids. I wanted to be there every moment. So I went from making basically triple what I needed as a single person to being married and then having one daughter right away, and then one daughter 2 years later, and then bringing on childcare and a childcare employee. So basically having to provide for 5 people instead of 1 within the period of about 2 years. Ooh. And as you know, if you're a parent watching, the more people you have living under your roof, just the more costs there are going to be. And then on top of that, because of things that were happening in the world, my passive income for a period of time got cut by about 50%. And it was the most stressful period of my entire life. I felt like a failure. I felt like I couldn't provide for my girls. I would literally wake up thinking about money, and I would go to bed thinking about money. And I thought, this is not the dream that I built for myself for the last 8 years. I feel like I'm living a nightmare. Like, why did the rug get pulled on me? Why did the whole world get turned upside down? And it just felt so unjust. But, if you want to get out of a bad situation, you can't get out of the bad situation by writhing in that situation and by feeling sorry for yourself. And I just had to start looking for ways to make passive income. I started trading Forex. I found a couple of really, really solid streams that are actually on the UIGI platform that I didn't even know were on the UIGI platform. Wow. And 12 months ago was basically the height of our financial challenges. And at the very beginning of 2022, after reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad and becoming more financially literate, we said, you know what? Our greatest asset is under our feet right now. We are living inside of our greatest asset, which is our house. In Texas, there was a massive real estate spike where over the period of 12 months, our house appreciated by 50%. So we sold our home, and all the profits went into investment streams, every single bit. And now we live in a much nicer home, much nicer neighborhood. We have like the life of our dreams. We live right across the street from a beautiful lake. The ocean is 10 minutes from us. We're living the dream. And the great thing is, because of the investment we made in passive income, our passive income now pays for the increased cost of living and all of the other, things that we now have in our life, because we took that leap of faith and decided to do something a little bit unconventional to get out of a bad situation, a situation where we had all this equity in our house, but it wasn't doing anything for us. We put all that equity in worthy streams of income. We reinvested, like you talk about, we reinvested, we paid ourselves first in passive income vehicles that are producing more than enough for our lifestyle. But there was still another problem. Now we went from 1 or 2 income streams to like 4 or 5 income streams, but we were too heavily reliant on one of those particular streams because it was doing so well. And I just said, you know what? I learned this the hard way before. I don't want to learn this the hard way again, no matter what, no matter how good an income stream looks. I said, we need to get another 10 streams of income. Now we have 15 streams of income, and they're, a couple of them are still doing really fantastically well. But even if our number 1 and number 2 top streams of income took a hit, all of our other income streams that are 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th, 10th, 15th best stream still pays for our lifestyle. So our focus is generational wealth. Our focus is on giving our girls the best opportunity to be shining examples of the greatest version of themselves and inspiring other human beings to be the greatest version of themselves, and just lifting this planet and this world out of pain, out of poverty, out of turmoil, and into love, light, freedom, passive income, and abundance, and a community and a world where, you know, there's no crime, there's no poverty, there's no, not that there's no competition. Competition's a great thing, but there's no, you know, grinding tooth and nail to try to beat else out of, you know, the spot that you need to get in. You know, the only reason for poverty is, the only reason for crime is poverty, because at the end of the day, if somebody has to go through breaking a law and doing something immoral in order to feed their family, sometimes they got to do what they got to do. I've never been put in that situation, but it's hard out there for certain people. And we as a community, UIGI, are lifting people out of those situations because the investments that people can make are so small, and you don't have to do a whole lot to start seeing a significant return on your investment. So the 1/3 rule needs to be implemented. If you don't know about financial literacy, you've got to start right away by paying off your debt. Then you got to start right away by, you know, obviously investing in platforms that can increase your passive income. And then, of course, take care of your taxes, do something fun with it, reward yourself. You work so hard and you totally deserve to do something nice for you and your family. But first things first, you got to become financially literate, and you got to create a financial wall around your family so that even if 1 or 2 or 3 of your streams take a hit, you still got 7 to 10 more that can take care of you and your family.
And wow, man, it's amazing. I'm getting excited. I'm becoming more, you know, enamored about UIGI than I've ever been. Just listening to you, I'm going to tell you something. You know, even right now, God forbid, Sherry and I, you know, it is what it is. It's not the same for everybody, but I believe some people, if their expenses are low, because we keep our expenses low. But out of all of our streams of income, we can live off of one.
Wow.
So if you remove all, either we could live off of either, and I don't mean just one, either one. You could take 9 away, we'll live off this 9. You could take, we can live off of one and still have the lifestyle that we have right now because of that reason. Multiple streams, you know, and they're equally strong, which is amazing. Man, it's so much I've heard, you know, hearing in your story. And I know, you know, when you speak for your missus as well. You know, it's really cool. You know, you guys are going to get this ring and it's going to come with appraisal papers, right? Now, when I got mine, it was $10,792. Now it's $13,000 because gold went up. Oh, we know gold go up. So gold went up. But you guys, you know, you'll be able to put it on your homeowner's insurance. You know, wow. God forbid something happens to it, you got the cash, you know, which is pretty neat. And we wanted to do it that way. We wanted people to have something tangible. And, you know, one of our streams of income is 7K metals. We believe in gold and silver because gold and silver is never going anywhere. You know what I mean? And so this is cool, man. I'm so excited for the both of you. I can't wait till you guys till July. You know, I hate to wish time away, but I can't wait till July. We're on our next Ring Earner event, so you guys can give your story. You know, we don't do any training at all, because we don't have nothing to train. So you guys can give your story and help inspire other folks when they're at this event, because we get people who come to the UIGI event that aren't even part of UIGI. You know, they come just to check us out to see if we're real. They leave those events like, oh, not only they're real, where can I put my money? Because we never tell people where to put their money, ever. And that's something that we pride ourselves on. I'll never tell you how to spend your money because I don't want you to tell me how to spend mine. Okay. But I'll say what I'm doing. And if you like what I'm doing, great. And you guys have the same thing. You'll tell folks what you're doing. And if they like what you're doing, great. This is awesome. Like, it's always a joy and pleasure when I get a chance to, you know, do ring interviews. And we got, I think, 4 more people who got the ring. Like, it's crazy. Oh, and I hope you guys know, my wife thought I was crazy. She didn't think I was crazy, but she was excited about it. But it's a contest out there. Now, you said competition is not bad. It's not bad. I'm not a big fan of competition unless it's sports and spades. Okay. If we playing cards, I'm gonna destroy you. If we playing sports, I'm gonna get you. But in business, I don't compete. But here's the deal. We put a promotion out there. The person who has the most ring earners come February the 28th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time will win $50,000 cash from me. I think second place is $35,000 cash, and first place is $15,000 cash. What was also cool, along the way, as they break ring earners, you get $500 on every ring earner. You know, so.
Well, we're going for that. We're going for that. We're going to invest every bit right back into our passive income.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So this is amazing, man. I appreciate your time. Here's the thing. For those who are watching, reach out to Jacob, reach out to Megan. You know, as you can hear the passion in their voices, they're excited about this. They don't need UIGI. And this is important. They don't need UIGI, you know, but they can now use UIGI, you know, as another vehicle to help other people. And that's the great thing. I think who said it? The late Jim Rome says, go where you're not needed, right? Go where you're not needed, which is very important because, you know, life rewards, you know, deserve, not life rewards, not need, you know what I mean? And so I'm just excited for the two of you. And if you're watching right now, reach out to them, inbox them on Facebook, find them on Instagram, you know, say, hey, I want to be part of UIGI too. They're brand new, literally. And what, like a month now?
Not even.
And your passion for helping people and making sure that people have passive income so they can live life in freedom is second to none. And I applaud the both of you. Wow. Wow. So here's a question I always ask at the end. For those who are brand new, because this is going to be broadcast on our UIGI group. For those who are just sticking their toe in UIGI, they're brand new, or they're looking at us right now because they saw us on maybe the Breakfast Club or they heard us on the radio. We sponsor events. We're doing an event Friday the 5th in Atlantic City, a big event we're sponsoring. We're sponsoring a UFC fighter. UIGI has their own UFC fighter right now. That's November 19th, coming up this weekend. So we sponsor things so people can see us out in the marketplace. We give away cars, we do concerts, blah, blah, blah. So for someone who found out about us, who's just looking at us for the first time, what would the both of you say to them? And I want to hear from Megan first. Yep, see, you did it. There you go.
It's just such an incredible opportunity that if you can put your logical brain on and forget some of the things you've heard in the past that make you feel scared about investing, you know, educate yourself, go on YouTube, watch videos, how to invest, like what is investing, you know, so that you feel confident in making a decision that could change your life. Because I promise you that this platform absolutely changed our life. And we've already helped countless other people get set up and they've changed their life. I mean, we had one of our old neighbors come over and
he sees our new neighborhood now.
and he said, thank you guys for not forgetting about me because you guys made it. And we put everything on the line to be where we are today. I mean, we worked really hard. We sacrificed. We've been through some really hard challenges financially. And I don't think when we were in our darkest time that we would think we are where we are now. And to fast forward, when we look back next year at us, it's just another game. Your money can make you money and your money compounds. And when you understand that, you have the power.
Yeah, I think the greatest risk is not being invested because every single month, your money is actually losing money by putting it in the bank. So if you have $10 in the bank right now, next year, it's only going to buy you $9 worth of goods. The following year, if inflation continues at this rate, your $10 will be $8. So if you have $100,000, 1 year from now, it'll be $90,000. If you have $100,000 in the bank, you're going to make $10 interest on that money. Okay, I mean, maybe it's a little bit more, maybe it's a little bit less, but if you have your money in the stock market, I'm not giving financial advice, but the previous US stock market high this year was around 37,000. Right now it's hovering between 29 and 31,000. That means 20%, almost 20% of the investment value, if you invested at the peak, was lost. I stopped investing in like long-term, like buy and holds, cryptos, and ETFs and different things like that, and started investing in cash flow, because no matter what, with these investments, they have a proven, multiple year track record of paying out at least X amount per month. From what I've personally seen in my experience, each investment is doing a minimum of 10% per month. Past performance does not equal future results. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence. But
Right.
for me, the greatest risk for me would be not taking a shot at the life of my dreams, not taking the risk to get ahead in life, because by sitting still, you're moving backwards. Not because, basically because the current state of things right now, the dollar is losing 10% in value, nearly 10% in value per year. So you've got to find a way to hedge against the rising cost of living, the decreasing value of the dollar, in investments that out earn the cost of just all of those things I just mentioned. So it would be ridiculous not to do something. If not this, find something. It's just, I don't know any other platform that has 10 proven, vetted, investments with track records, multiple years running, that is doing 10% plus per month. Rabu and his legal team do all the due diligence for you. They meet with the owners, they comb through the financials, they make sure there's no funky business whatsoever. And then his legal team, his resources, all of on his dime and his time and his expertise is vetting these out for you. He would not bring anything on this platform that would jeopardize the financial well-being of 300,000 people that are a part of this platform. He's not having you invest in anything he doesn't have multiple seven figures invested in, and has his family and loved ones investing in as well. So for me, once I saw all of that, once I felt your heart, once I saw so many people succeeding, I just realized that, if I don't get invested in this, then my money's just going to become less and less valuable. And I'm going to be not at the same place I am next year. I'm going to be worse. If I don't change something, my life is not going to change. And because of the way things are going, things are actually going to get worse. I don't want to scare anybody, but the middle class is getting wiped out by the cost of living, the cost of gas, the cost of food, the cost of housing, everything. And any extra money we have, it goes straight into investments. As soon as money hits our bank account, we need to put this into generational wealth. As soon you just sold a real estate property that you had from a couple of years ago, and all of it went into producing generational wealth and more passive income, not on a boat, not on a car, not on a house, not on a trip, on passive income for generational wealth. So once you make it to the other side of having money work for you and not you working for money, you sleep a lot better at night. You age a lot less. I look younger than I did when I was 18 years old right now, because I have so much peace in knowing that my family is totally taken care of. And what do we do all day? We just have fun. We're going to go on a date after this. It's Friday afternoon and we get to go on a date while, unfortunately, we want more people to be able to travel the world with us and go do things with us. That's why you've got to get invested in UIGI. You've got to get your passive income right, so that you and all your friends and loved ones can live the life of your dreams and do whatever you want, wherever you want, wherever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want. So
and my favorite quote that I heard that just changed my perspective on anything is, the only reason why you're broke is because your money is unemployed.
That's right.
Wow. Well, look, you said date night, and it's date night for Sherry and I, and she called me while we were on the phone. If y'all saw me look at my phone. So, wow, we could do this all day long. This has been one of the most inspiring interviews that we've done. Now, we have folks in our group, and I always like to toot their horns. Ms. Zena Crump is a former, corporal from the Pentagon. We have the Pattersons, who are retired now feds. Okay. We have police officers. Now I'm just talking about the security ones. We have doctors, we have superintendents of schools, we have A1 athletes,
Wow.
A1, entertainers, we have stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, janitors, lawn care people, you name it, that are all part of UIGI. And we're changing some lives. But this, didn't I say this lastly? We don't come up with none of this stuff. All of these platforms come from within. We meet together. Hey, what do you think about this? And to be honest with you, 90% of them, we say, nope, but they all come from within. I didn't make up anything. I didn't find anything. You know, the only one, I only found one of these platforms, only one. The other ones came from within a group. Then, like you said, we get on these planes and go meet with folks, and if they work, we bring them in a group and everybody benefits. This is a wonderful thing. So wow. Wow, so I'm so glad, man. Glad that you guys were available. You know, love you guys a whole bunch. Y'all enjoy your day. You know, go have some fun. Like Sherry and I go have some fun. I'm not allowed to do lives anymore when I'm away from my house. So I got to record and then play them later on, but it's all good. So y'all enjoy your day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The newest ring earners, can't wait to introduce the other ring earners, and can't wait to see you guys again. And I'll probably pop through Houston before you know it.
Come on, that's where we're at, man. Love you so much. Thank you for what you're doing for this world. I think I mean, when you're 100 years old and you look back, you'll just have a sliver of a picture of the impact that you've had on so many people. Because just the small group of people that we introduced, I had somebody call me a saint yesterday. They were like, "You're a saint." And I was like, "Rabu's a saint." So thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you for putting this together.
Oh man, well, thank y'all. Y'all enjoy your day. This has been amazing. And I'll give you a chat later. I'll give you a call later on, but I gotta go get in the shower and all this other stuff and get out of here before I get beat up. All right.
All right.
Y'all be good.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye-bye.